Hello everybody, what's going on? It's the Flying Pig on Flying Pig United with another little video for you. Little afternoon roundup, lunchtime sort of a show for you guys. We're going to discuss all the latest Man United news and all the latest goings on at this football club today. How are we all doing, guys? Thank you for joining us. We've got Vutinator in here, Susan Lively Sue, Palmarius, Chris Parker, Aaron, what's going on, mate? How you been, lad? It's so hot, isn't it? I know, it's crazy. Lucky Singh. And Alex is in here, says Glazers out, hashtag empty Old Trafford. Absolutely, Alex, my lad. Courts, what's going on? And Lucky Singh, Heinrich Van Neal, Chris Parker, Scujo, JR, John Adair, Duncan Belifo, It's Only Me, Mick, Stefan Antonio, Simon, FC Football, Jim Watkins, Billy, Lucky Singh, Master Yoda, Vincent Bullock, Batman Night Fan, Peter Rattencourt, John, Gary Finnegan, M, Susan, Lucky, FC Football, and everybody else as well. Thank you very much for joining us for the show. Do us a favour at the start of this stream, everybody. Twat the like button. Give the old Kung Fu Canton treatment. Drop a thumbs up on it. That helps us out no end with the old algorithm. Get yourself subscribed if you're new to the channel as well. If you're on catch up later watching this back, get down below in the not live comment section and leave a comment and have your say on the matters of which we're discussing in this video. And also, if you're here right now live, hope you're good. Hope you're not sweating too much. And get yourself involved throughout the show in the comment section as well here. We will be dipping in and out the chat as we do to hear your thoughts and opinions on the various topics throughout. And we'll have a big Q&A at the end of the stream as well. So get yourself in there raw, my friends. Berber, how you doing, my friend? Great to see you this morning. 92 Caleb, Vooty, Stu, Billy, and everyone. Mark Harris, what's going on, lad? Yes, oh, you're currently driving. He's out in the old Peugeot. Okay, so Manchester United, let's get into the latest news then, folks. So just earlier on, there was a presser about an hour ago from Eric Ten Hag, obviously, for the Brentford game. And he was asked a bunch of different questions about some of the players that are linked with moves away at Manchester United right now. So we're going to get into that first, and then we'll cover the sort of incoming transfer news, if you know what I mean. So the first big bit of information, really, which is sort of more or less been confirmed by various sources anyway, is that it looks like Marcus Rashford will be staying and he will be featuring for Manchester United this season. So there were some speculations and some rumours that PSG were interested in Marcus Rashford and maybe they'd be going in for him, and it would take a lot of money in order to convince United to sell him, but there was some sort of understanding that PSG were willing to pay. But as it stands, probably too much money that Man United would be asking for anyway for somebody that's, let's face it, Gashford at the moment, and certainly need to get themselves back on the right track first before we can even really talk about 70 or 80 million pound price tags. But still, this guy is looking likely that he's going to stay. So Ten Hag was quoted as saying this. He says, Rashford is really important. You have seen from the first day. I'm really happy with him and definitely don't want to lose him. Rashford's in our plans. He will stay at Manchester United. Okay, so fair enough. So Ten Hag obviously backing his man there. To be fair, if there was a big offer that came in, that could easily change the situation. But right now, Ten Hag seemingly suggesting that Rashford stays. He's happy with Rashford, and Rashford is the guy for him. Now, in my opinion, Rashford is a really good player on his day, which hasn't been for fucking nearly 2 years now. But on his day, he's brilliant, and he was good for us previously before the last 18 months. But since then, he has actually been awful. And so it's quite hard to look for redeeming features in Rashford's play when he's been so pitiful out there for us. And inconsistent, actually no, consistently rubbish. So, okay, and even in the first game, the competitive game against Brighton, he was Gashford. It's like, come on now, Ten Hag. Let's call it how it is. Gungshi, how you doing, my son? Thank you so much for getting in here with a super chat, lad. Let's go. Let's get a Sue in the live chat there for Don Gungshi. Thank you very much, Gungers. He commented and he says, I'm at my nephew's wedding. Just dropping in to say hi to the pig and his bacon bambinos. Oh, Gungshi, you bloody legend. What an absolute committed consigliere of the Hamada this man is. He's at his nephew's wedding and he's still popping in the stream. Gungshi, you're a bloody legend. Thank you so much. You have a great wedding. Enjoy yourself. Let's get some wedding bells and some love hearts in the live chat. Congratulations to your nephew, Gungshi. That's awesome. You have a great day. Thank you so much for that one, bud. Thank you for the Sues there, David Hodgie. Francis is in here from Liberia. Shout out to you watching from Liberia, bro. Appreciate you, my man. Yes, Gungshi, enjoy the wedding, says Billy. Absolutely. Have a wonderful day, Gungshi. And thank you so much for the super chat there, bud. Okay, so Ten Hag suggesting that Rashford's going to stay. I guess if there's a big offer that comes in, that could change. But let's just ask the live chat. What would be your opinion to do with Marcus Rashford? What do you think? So keep, sell, loan. What do you think, guys? Keep, sell, or loan Marcus Rashford? Let's have a little vote in the live chat. So, yeah, I mean, if we're not going to go out there and sign lots of new players, then I guess it doesn't really make sense to sell the guy. If you can generate 70 million quid for him, though, maybe that can be better used throughout the squad. Sir Fikey says sell. Batman says sell. Keep says Simon Warner. Sell now, says Ryan. Berber says never rated him, pigs. Sell him while we can. Sell, says Chris Barker. Well, yeah, interesting. So if he continues down this path, you only be able to get Welbeck money for him in a season or two's time. So, it's a good point. If you're going to sell him, you can sell him now and get good whack for him. Scoojo says sell and Lucky Singh. Cass says keep. Have Ten Hag here, yeah. Keep says Dizzy. Sell immediately, says Lucky and Big Red. Sell or kick up the arse, says Duncan. Right, okay, guys, thank you for your vote there. Most people, it looks like, we're saying sell. Okay, so, yeah, Marcus Rashford's been absolutely trashford. I still think, look, he's Manc born and bred. He has had some good seasons at Man United. We've gone over his stats before. I'm not going to do it again. But, okay, the last season was absolutely abysmal. Before that, half a season was abysmal. We were blaming it on perhaps an injury. Then he had surgery, and he's been abysmal since then. So you can't really defend him anymore. He's been consistently gashed for a whole season post-surgery. The Cake Cadet, thank you for the £2 super chat. Bud, he says, don't mention marriage to piggy gungers. Cake Cadet, why'd you always have to stir the pot there, my man? Cake Cadet, thank you for the super chat, Bud. I appreciate you getting in there. Raw land. Let's get a raw emoji in there for Cake. Rory C, how you doing? How you doing? One more season. Yep, Vutinator and Susan Lively Sue think one more season for Rashford. So, yeah, I think that at least give him till Christmas. This is honestly where I'm at now because we haven't gone out there and signed a top winger. Maybe I suppose if we were to go and get Gakpo, that might change things. But right now, we haven't done that. We need to focus on getting the midfield sorted out, really. If we can't get De Jong, we've got to allocate funds to get somebody else in that position. So that's really the big key area of the pitch that I think we need to strengthen the most. But look, let's face it, Rashford's had a bad time of it, but he's still got potential to be a great player. I mean, that's why I guess like teams like PSG may be interested in him because they know he's still only 24. If he can get into a good spell of things, he can start to continue developing on the right track again. Unfortunately, he's been too gash for too long, but it's a new season with Ten Hag. Maybe he'll revitalise himself. In fact, I could go as far as to say he might have a good season this season under Ten Hag if he stays. Because he's going to get a lot of game time. We don't have a lot of opportunities for other players there, I don't think. I mean, I still think Garnacho actually could be doing with giving a nod just because he looks ready. But Rashford's got to step up, doesn't he? That's it. He's going to lose his place in the team imminently unless he actually steps up. So we'll see what he's made of, but it's a new fresh start for him and a lot of the players under Ten Hag. So he's got to try and deliver. Can he do it? We'll find out. Give him till Christmas. We'll probably know by Christmas whether or not he's going to continue down the old gash road that he's on right now. Or if not, he can maybe come back and be the player we all hope he was going to be. And Jonathan makes a good point. Says Bruno Fernandes been gashed for a while too. Yeah, that's it. He's got to sort himself out as well, boss. I mean, not as bad as Rashford. He still had glimpses and moments of brilliance even in the last season. But his inconsistencies were plain to see. He went missing in a lot of games. He was ineffective in a lot of games, buzzing around like a headless chicken. So, yeah, fair enough. It's not just Rashford. A lot of these players have to step up and they will be given chances under Ten Hag. So, but I still have faith that maybe he can come back and do good things. If there was a big offer that come in, though, like 70 or 80 mil, I think it'd be hard to turn it down right now because he's not a huge player for us right now anyway. Potentially he could be, but that's a big if. He needs to move on to pastures new. Yeah, it's an interesting comment there as well, to be fair, Andrew. Maybe he needs a new, fresh surroundings. You're very right, says Jim. Susan says, I think if Rashford would work with Ronaldo, it would really help him. Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, they didn't combine well at all last season, did they? They were so bad. So we need to get Ronaldo the service that he requires to fire goals. As long as you feed Ronaldo, he's going to get you a load of goals. The problem last season was actually, being able to fire those goals in there. It was get the ball into him. I mean, it was difficult. Sell Rashford in January. Two-way street. These guys don't share our loyalty, says Berber. Can you imagine him in training with Messi, says Stefan Antonio? Rashford needs better coaching as what we're doing the last third. Well, yeah, so what do you mean? He shouldn't be getting his coaching from a headless chicken? Because that's what it seems like his coaching's been over the last 18 months. No, fair enough. I mean, look, if the coaching can have an effect on him, he's got a lot of the attributes we require. He's quick as fuck. His finishing is definitely lacking, but if you can coach that into him, if he can improve that side of his game and be a lot more clinical in front of goal, he could be a good player. He gets in the right positions. He reads the game well enough. He just, when he gets into the final third, he's got a man to take on. He rarely does the right thing. He usually just headless chickens in it into the first defender, or, and when he's through on goal or when he's got an opportunity, you don't really feel like he's the man that you want in front of goal to take the chance when it matters. He's not a clutch player at all. He does often need a lot of chances before he registers a goal. So he's not the best player in the world, but I think give him a little bit of a confidence boost. Ten Hag can maybe bring him on a bit this season. He could be quite good, couldn't he? He could be quite good again for us. Guys, we've got 61 likes on the stream, 166 legends tuning in. Let's turn that upside down. Smash the like on the video if you're just joining us, folks. Hit the like on it. Give it a share as well if you haven't done so. But yes, do boost us up there on the YouTube algorithm by smashing that like on it. You don't listen to nonsense of Gary Neville, says Lucky Singh. Fair play to you, my son. Andy Cole was the same. That's right, supposed goals. Yeah, good point. I mean, that's it. Andy Cole was a great player for us who scored a heck of a lot of goals throughout the seasons, and certainly for Newcastle as well. But yeah, he did need 5 chances before you got him a goal. Before he got a goal, you're absolutely spot on, mate. Even Fergie said that about him. So, yeah. Okay, we also have information to suggest that Man United may be keen to give this guy a new contract. So, I mean, I don't think we should be talking about contract renewals at this stage. Maybe at the end of this season, once we've seen how Rashford's done this year. But right now, I just can't see it. There's reports that Man United want to get this guy locked down for a bit longer. So his contract runs out, actually, I believe it's next summer, but there's already an option for an extra year, or it could be the season after. Let me just have a quick double check of that. But his contract's running out. Let's have a look. So so his contract expires next summer in June 2023. However, there is an option for Manchester United to extend that for another year. So essentially, it's a 2-year contract. So we'll probably trigger that. We don't have to let him go. We can just trigger that contract extension close to the time. But yeah, I mean, it does mean that at some point soon we're going to have to give Marcus Rashford a new contract. Those are the facts, because either we're going to lose him in in 2 years' time, potentially. We need to sell him, or we need to give him a new contract reasonably soon. But he doesn't really deserve to be receiving a new contract right now. He's already getting paid 200k a week or whatever to be absolutely gash. So, it's like, does he even deserve a new contract right now? Let's ask the live chat, folks. Do you think Marcus Rashford deserves a new contract at United? Yes or no? But bear in mind also, he's only got a year left on his contract with the option for United for an extra year. So call it 2 years. It's not the longest time, from an asset point of view. United might think about getting this guy extended soon. Yes, says Sir Paul Scholes. No, says Johnny. No, says Master Yoda. He doesn't deserve it. No, says Andrew. Yes, says Simon. No, says Jim Watkins. No, says Duncan Blefo. Take off the United glasses. He's not good enough, says Chris Barker. No, 6 months. That's it, says Lucky Singh. Sell Rashford by Gakpo, says The Flash. Yeah, Andy Cole was a great player, to be fair, Steve Wild. Yes, says John Adair. No, says Cass and Samer. No, says Ryan. No more contracts, says Lucky Singh. Yeah, so I'm not really too happy with how we operate in the contract renewal department. Think about Phil Jones, what a debacle that was. Think about Bruno Fernandes getting a new contract just a few months ago, before the season's finished, before the new managers even come in. I know he was expected to be a key player for us, but isn't that the sort of thing you could wait a month to do? It's just all very strange. Like players just get big new contracts all the time here, and it doesn't even seem like they really deserve it. We're just trying to protect these assets, and where in reality, Rashford has been Gashford. He shouldn't be getting a new improved contract anyway. Fair enough if he wants to sign a new deal for less money because we've overpaid him because he's developed like a gash merchant, then that's one thing. But I don't really see that being the case, folks. I think he's going to have to prove himself over the next few months. Then maybe around January, we could talk about a new contract. But right now, no contract discussions make sense at all from our point of view. He's not performing, and maybe we'll look to sell him in January if he's absolutely proven to be gash again this season. He's got himself a good few months here to prove himself under Ten Hag. It's a new regime, new manager. He can prove himself. But if he doesn't, then ship him out, I say. Yeah, our club to shambles, says Steve Wild. If Rashford goes, does not to the foreign club, what team do you think he would play for, says Simon Warner? PSG, maybe. Berber says LBG bought him through 7 years ago. He hasn't developed, says Berber. Yeah, well, he did develop up until about 18 months ago. So, if you actually look at his progression season by season and his stats, they are steadily improving over the seasons, and he's getting better, right? However, he's just completely fallen off 18 months ago. So he developed up to a point, and then he's just stopped. That happens with a lot of players, in all fairness, Danny Welbeck or whoever it may be. We think that they're going to continue on this upward arc of improvement throughout the career, and they don't. They just hit a wall. And I think it's fair to say that the last 18 months for Rashford has been an absolute wall. And he just hasn't, he just hasn't developed since that point on. So, but before that, he did have some good seasons at Man United. He did do well. I mean, even his sort of breakout season, he's come in as a young 18-year-old. He's scoring goals. Unexpected, really, and he's had some good glimpses, some good moments, and shown some good quality throughout the years. I mean, that Chelsea free kick, okay, maybe they're few and far between. He did get 22 goals and assists one season in 32 or whatever it was Premier League games. Not a bad statistics before it all went to shit. So I just hope that he could get back to being that player that he was a couple of seasons ago, because he was a very good player for us. He was very dangerous, but right now he's just a complete liability and a headless chicken. So Ten Hag's got his work out for him to get this guy back on track and to try and actually coach this guy into being a good player again. It's not going to come easy, I don't think. Your man hasn't performed. Yeah, he hasn't performed for a long time, Lucky, in all fairness. No, he hasn't. Okay, hold on a second, guys. Let's get back into the news then. So yeah, there's a tweet here this morning from Rob Dawson from ESPN anyway that says that United are insisting Marcus Rashford is not for sale despite interest from PSG. Rashford has a year left on his contract plus an option which would take him until 2024. So United is in a strong position. Might be different if the same situation presented itself next summer. So just on that, yes, I mean right now that doesn't strike me as the right time to be discussing a new contract renewal with Rashford. And maybe it's not the right time to be discussing selling him either, because we've got to give him a chance to see maybe under Ten Hag if he can come back and do his business again. If he can't, then I'd be quite happy to see him go in January for slightly less money than what we could have got for him now. Just because, well, at least we've got to try. I mean, Mank, born and bred, all that homegrown player, come through the system. He's been here through the dirty years at United. Maybe he could come out the other end and have some positive years. Who knows? I mean, I'm still holding out hope. I don't want to discard a player like this so easily. I look at some of the players that we've got rid of over the last few seasons that we should have got rid of. People like Paul Pogba. To me, Paul Pogba came in on big money. Forget the money. His performances were consistent over a number of years to the point where they're not good enough. Rashford's been about 18 months now, which is getting towards my absolute limit for gash merchants. But people like Jesse Lingard sustained years of awfulness. Good to see him go. There's certain players that didn't really deserve to go. And, Harry Maguire, the last 2 seasons, absolutely gastastic. That's enough for me to know that he's not the man. Rashford, okay, he's getting to that point now, but this is his last chance, I think. This is his last chance, his last season where maybe he can just give it a go and come back. I don't know. You want to see James Garner or Hannibal, says Batman Night Fan. Should have done with Pogba what we did with Lukaku, says Sir Paul Scholes. The Cake Cadet says Rashford lacks bottle. That's the problem. Head's completely gone. Maybe so, Cake Cadet. Yeah. Well, it's tough, isn't it? Lifting up to the weekly pressures of being a United player. It's not, it's not for everyone, guys. It's not for everyone. It's a tough old task, especially right now over the last few seasons anyway, where there's been a lot of pressure on United and just awful leadership from the top down. And it's been an absolute shit show. So he has struggled just like anyone. I mean, if you actually want to be fair about it as well, if you look at last season, I mean, we did it, didn't we? At the end of the season, we did a rundown and a ranking of every single Manchester United player for the season. And in my recollection, there was only 2 players that we rated as anything good, which was Cristiano Ronaldo and Davide De Gea. They were the only 2 players that we actually said were anything good. The rest of the team, we said were mediocre at best, and most of them were gash. And so you can chuck Marcus Rashford in that list as well, but he's no different to a lot of these other players that we talked about. And a lot of these players, well, they need to shape up or they need to be sold off very soon as well. I mean, certainly players like Scotty McTominay, get rid. People like Wan-Bissaka. What are you going to be able to do anything but this season? Dallo and that side of the pitch concerns me big time. I mean, just the whole team, in fact. Harry Maguire, Varane with his fitness. It's just, we still don't have a good set team. We don't have a good spine. We don't have a good, solid, established centre-back partnership. We don't have a good, solid, established central midfield partnership or anything like that, guys. The midfield's a championship midfield, so we're quite a far way away. But I do think that the whole team performed to a gash level last season. There's certain individuals that I've just had enough of, really. I've had too much time. And Rashford is definitely getting there. Rashford's definitely getting there. Thank you, Big Red. He says, hit the like button, people. Thank you so much, Big Red. Yes, we're nearly at 100 likes, actually, guys. Keep smashing that like button if you're just joining. Andrew says, Shaw is next with Scotty. Simon comments, Rashford's performances on the pitch needs to improve. He also wants to play for England, too, with the World Cup. I don't think he's going to get in it, is he? Yeah, I think he'll struggle to get in there unless he really steps up. It's a good point you make, though. So he should be on his absolute A game, like mentally trying to get into that England setup as well for the World Cup. So that should mean he's absolutely busting a lung for United. Berber says, I think Rashford's back injury finished him. RVP said it could happen. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, well, certainly since then, he hasn't been the same player, has he? That was a sort of turning point for the guy. Supported United is like trying to nail your missus, but your mum's watching, says Ryan Taylor. Oh, man, it's doable, but very uncomfortable. Steve, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Steve, for this $10 super chat, my son. Getting here raw from down under. Bros, can we get a cheeky little sue in the live chat there? Steve, thank you very much for the super chat, mate. He says, drink on me, my friend. Cheers. Oh, get in there, my son. Let's go for a cheeky little Castlemaine Forex, bro. Or maybe a bit of the Amber Nectar. No, thank you very much, bud. You're an absolute legend, Steve. Everyone, let's get a suey in the live chat there for him. Thank you very much for the drink, lad. I need it on this hot, hot day. It's absolutely sweltering. So it's 31 or 32 degrees here right now outside. God knows what it is inside right here. But you can see I'm glistening in this heat. Hey, Luan France, how the devil are you doing? Welcome in the stream, Luan. Steve Wild as well. Johnny M, some of the channel member Legends. How you guys doing? Why would your mum be watching this Batman Life fan? I don't know. Chrissy J, how are you doing? How's Leah as well? I hope you guys are great. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Yes, 8 likes away from 100. Thank you, everyone, for dropping that thumbs up. If you're new to the show as well, drop a subscribe on it. Get yourself involved. So let's just cover the rest of the Rashford information and what Ten Hag said in his presser. Then we'll talk about the latest transfer news for United. But love the chat today, guys. Lots of passionate debate, lots of passionate opinions in regards to Rashford and stuff. And he is a bit of a, what's the word, bit polarizing at the moment. A lot of people are suggesting that, yeah, no, he's done. Cash in while we can, get the money and just run. Pretty much a lot of people are suggesting that. And some others are saying, well, it's his last chance, really. You know, Ten Hag's here. It's a new season, new manager. Give him a chance to see what he can do. I'm sort of slightly more leaning towards that one, I must say. And if he doesn't do well over the next few months, up until Christmas, I would probably look to sell him in the January transfer window if you can, or certainly next summer if he's not living up to it. I know we'll get a bit less money, but we've got an option to extend him for another year anyway. So really, his contract's for 2. So we could still, you know, I just think, yeah, give him a chance. Give him a chance over the coming months. And we'll know soon enough whether or not he's gash or up to the task, really. And he is trying to get into that England setup as well for the World Cup. So that is a factor. That's going to hopefully mean that we get the best performances out of Marcus Rashford. So we'll see. But right now, he's not convincing. He's inconsistent. And he's gash. And he's going to have to step up and prove to you, me, Ten Hag, and everybody that he's actually got the bollocks to be a Manchester United player. Because they've shriveled up over the last 18 months into tiny little sun-dried raisins, guys. It's a nightmare. Okay, so Marcus Rashford, he's staying anyway. Ten Hag has commented and said that Rashford's really important. You've seen him from the first day. I'm really happy with him and definitely don't want him to lose him. So is he really happy with him, though? I mean, he was gashed in the first sort of game, but he's been okay in pre-season, I guess. His finishing's atrocious, though. He missed a couple of absolute sitters in the last game, and he's got to step himself up. His clinicality is guff, but he says Rashford's in our plans and he will stay at Manchester United. Right, let's get on to Cristiano Ronaldo now. So just a little bit on Ronaldo from Ten Hag in the presser. And he said that Cristiano had a good training week. I thought he played a little bit longer than half an hour. He's had 2 half games. And for the starting 11, we will see tomorrow. My decision, I keep it, he added, meaning, you know, he's going to keep it to himself what goes on. So who are we going to see up top? What do you think, guys? Let's have a little vote. Who plays at striker against Brentford? Let us know. I do think that it'll be Cristiano Ronaldo starting. He'll probably play 60 minutes and get subbed off. But in that time, hopefully, he'll get a couple of soos on the pitch. Oh, Steve, lad, thank you for another super chat there from Down Under, bro. Another 10 Aussie dollar rooskies. Oh, thank you, my son. Everyone, let's get a love heart in there for Steve. He says, sheesh. He says, sheesh, cold here down under. You'll need another bev. Cheers. Oh, man, thank you so much, Steve. You're an absolute gentleman, my friend. That's so nice of you, dude. Everyone, let's get some Bacano Brigadier emojis in there for Steve. I thank you so much indeed, mate. That's another cold one or 2, lad. Thank you very much, bud. Absolutely lovely. Yeah, it's so hot here, though. So it's cold down there. I guess, like, that's, yeah, it's like your winter now, is it? I don't really know. I think it is, though, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's your winter now. It's usually like super sunny and stuff when it's Christmas over there, right? So anyway, fair enough. That's interesting, mate. But it's fucking absolutely sweat your munt off time round here. You're a legend, Steve. Thank you so much indeed for the generosity there, bud, and the super chats. Sue to you, my son. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Right, so Cristiano Ronaldo, he said Cristiano Ronaldo had a good trading week, and so essentially you think he's going to play, but let's ask the chat. Ronaldo, we need a focal point up front. He says Jonathan Gallagher. It's hot in Durban as well. We're in winter, says Andrew. Oh, right, yeah, a bit of South Africa action. Until we get rid of Maguire, McFred, McTominay, and Rashford, we ain't getting close to winning anything, says Gabe Moore. Good call. I respect that. Stefan says Rashford wouldn't have got in the reserves years ago. I salute him. I salute him for what he does for the kids, school meals, etc. But would you play Bob Geldof at centre forward? Bob Geldof at centre forward? No, but I'd play him at centre back. I'd play him at centre back in a heartbeat over that Slabo Maguire melt, my friend. Feed the world. Yes, mate. Come on. Good shout, to be fair, Stefan. Love that. Would you play Bob Geldof at centre forward, my son? Susan Lively Sue, thanks for getting in with your highlighted member comment and supporting the channel for 4 months. Susan, let's go. Can we get a Susan in the live chat, please, for Susan? She says, we need to give Eric Ten Hag time. You are spot on, Susan Lively Sue. Thanks for supporting this channel for 4 months. There's going to hashtag 4 months in there. And you're absolutely right about that. Ten Hag does need a lot of time, and we need patience. I think he's also got to develop some of the youth players, give some of the youngsters opportunities. What I will say is, though, he can't keep making the same mistakes as a lot of the previous managers have done. He will get time, and I will be happy to give him plenty of time. But if every single week he's got Slabo Maguire captaining the team and Shotty McTominay and Fred in the centre of the park, I'm sorry to say, it's only a matter of time before I'm going to start to get disillusioned, because I know that those guys have proven to be guff. So, but I hope he learns from his mistakes that he made in that first game and does change the team around significantly. Zachary Stone, thank you for the super chat as well. Thank you, Susan. Zachary says, United have been a laughable squad for years. They need to probably invest close to 500 million to compete with the big boys. Well, maybe so over the next few seasons, you're probably not far off. I certainly think that, £300 million, if we really wanted to get to the point where we've got a squad depth and a starting 11 quality enough to be able to compete with the big boys, yeah, you've got to spend a good few hundred million right now. We are quite far away. We almost need, if you listen to what Ragnick said, we need 10 new players. Well, if we don't need 10 new players, we certainly need 6 or 7 if we wanted to compete with the very best teams in the world. What I mean by that is having world-class players in most of your positions in your team, because United don't have that. You can't say we've got a world-class left-back or a right-back, or I guess you could say Varane on his day, centre-back-wise. That's about it. David De Gea is a world-class goalie. Bruno Fernandes, right now, it's questionable, but previously I'd say yes, but not right now. Cristiano Ronaldo, yes. Everybody else, they're not anywhere really where to the level that they should be. Man United should have a team of near Galacticos, really, but we don't. Thank you so much there, Zachary Stone, for getting in there. Good comment, mate. Kate Cadet, thank you for your super chat, buddy. Says, any chance of a team prediction, Piggy? Right, thank you, Kate Cadet. So, yeah, I am going to do a proper preview tomorrow, so I'll give you a proper team prediction then if there's any more news and stuff that comes out. However, Anthony Martial and Victor Lindelof missed the last game, and it's expected that they're both not going to play either. They're not quite ready for the visit to Brentford, obviously. So he said it's still the same in regards to those players. So, yeah, so we both got more or less most of the team available, just a couple of players out there. I think what Ten Hag's going to do is probably play, I think he is going to change quite a bit. I don't think he's going to change the back line that much. But I don't know. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. Listen, I hope he's going to go for something like, this is what I want to see anyway. Malacia, De Gea obviously in goal. Malacia, Martinez, Varane, maybe Wan-Bissaka. And then in the midfield, I'd probably like to see something totally different. Something in maybe like Garner and Ericsson or something. Or Garner and Donny with Ericsson in front. Something crazy, something slightly different. Something that we haven't seen, something that's maybe technically more gifted. Because right now, I'm not convinced about McTominay or Fred or those guys, in all fairness. So I would like to see something different. And then on the left side, I'd go for Garnacho, because I don't think Rashford's proven himself to be dependable or that he can do anything much for us at the moment. So I would start Garnacho in a game like this against Brentford. On the right, it's got to be Jadon Sancho, and up top, Cristiano Ronaldo. But that's not what I think Ten Hag's going to do. That's just what I want to see happen. Well, for his actual team, it wouldn't surprise me if it's Slabo Maguire and Martinez at the back, Malacia on the left, maybe Dallo on the right again, probably Fred playing in the central midfield. He can't play McTominay based on his last game, surely not. So maybe Donny with him or something. I don't know. Bruno Fernandes, I expect Rashford to play. So, yeah, there'll be some difference. I'll let you know properly for my preview, though, bud. I'll let you know properly for my preview. Thank you for your super chat there, Cake Cadet, you absolute legend. Appreciate it, my man. Let's get a Sue in there for Cake. Thank you, boss. Let me just scroll down to the bottom of the chat. Okay, let's cover the rest of the news then, guys. So, yep. So there you go. Cristiano Ronaldo expected to play, but we don't know if he's going to be starting or not. What do you think, folks? Start or bench? I think he's going to start and then probably be substituted off reasonably early in the second half because he's not fully match fit and his conditioning is not there, but he's too much of a goat to leave off. And if you can get Ronaldo 55 minutes out of him, then he can get you a goal in that time. So, but what do you think? G Wolf United, how you doing, my son? He says bench. Start, says Susan and Batman and Simon and Elliot and Lucky Singh. United will lose tomorrow, I'm certain, says Gucci Lover. He starts as Revivalizer. Superstar says late to the party. I take there's no big news. Not huge news. No, Superstar. You haven't missed anything much. We'll do a rundown shortly anyway. And we've also got some more stuff to get into, like Rabio. Start Rashford will be subbed on for him, says Jams. Start Ronaldo, says Cass. Start subbed at 75th minute, says Steve. Start and then see how it plays out, says Big Red. Start him, but we should still sell him, says Elliot. Wow, okay. We're going to lose, I feel it, says Andrew. Start Marcio's out, says Superstar. Exactly, yeah. Best player on the planet has to start. Exactly, Purple. That's it. Surely starts, says Jonathan. Bench, says Mark Harris. How would I rate 90s against this team at the moment? Oh, my goodness me. The 90s team at Manchester United would absolutely piss on this current team. Any of those 90s teams, the early 90s team and the late 90s team, any of those 90s teams would piss on this United team like it was on fire. Honestly, they would. It's not even close, bud. I mean, those teams were absolutely world-class. Those teams were world-class, and they had bottle about them, and they had character about them, and they had depth, and they had Fergie. They had Fergie as well. That's a big fucking thing. They had Alex Fergie, but they also had players like Cantona and Keane, and just unbelievable characters, unbelievable winners and stuff. So it doesn't even come close, unfortunately. I mean, could you imagine Roy Keane up against Harry Maguire in terms of the captaincy? I think just when they're going to swap, going to flip the coin at the start of the fucking game, they'd probably Keano would have Slabo Maguire crying. Anyway, okay, so let's get on to the next piece of news then, folks. Let's talk about Rabio. So Adrian Rabio to Manchester United. That's right, Cake. The 90s team would walk the Prem. I think they'd definitely be up there, dude. They'd absolutely be up there, wouldn't they? So let's talk about this then, folks. Adrian Rabio. So Fab tweeted 13 hours ago, so around about midnight, said that today's meeting is scheduled between John Murtough and Florent Rabio, not with the player, who was in contact with Eric Ten Hag on Monday through a direct call. Negotiation will be about the salary. Man United director will be in Turin to meet with Adrian's camp. So, meetings taking place, and also information there that says United will improve their proposal to Adrian Rabiot by redistributing bonuses. United must also find an agreement on commissions with Veronique. United's moves is positive. Yes, I'd like a house in Sicily. I'd like, a lifetime supply of Cadbury buttons. Could you imagine some of the requests by Veronique here? Who knows? But this is obviously Rabiot's mum who's doing his transfer negotiations and agent duties. So that Man United, it's taken a little bit of time to get this deal done. They want a lot of wages, apparently, folks. So this is what's been reported, that all that's missing from Rabiot's Man United move is the yes from his mother, Veronique. She wants Rabiot to earn no less than what he earns at Juventus, which is around 7 million euros a year, whereas Man United are starting from a lower base of a couple of million. Yep. So it seems like there's still a little bit apart in terms of in terms of the wages that's being discussed here. I think Rabiot's probably worth no more than 140k a week to Manchester United. What do you guys think? Let us know in the chat. But they seem to want a heck of a lot more than that. So 7 million. Let's get the old calculator up, guys, because I can't do this in my head anymore. But let's have a look. Let's put 7 million divided by 52. That's £134,000 a week. Oh, okay. Interesting. Sounds about right then. As an absolute maximum. 7 million euros, by the way. It's a lot of money, though, eh? But that does work out to 130,000 a week. 150 a week, says the Cake Cadet. 12, says you are. They're probably asking for 200k a week, says Superstar. You pay him in cream eggs, says Chris Barker. Yeah, he'll get 200k, says Ryan Taylor. Could you imagine if we actually gave him some sort of money like that? Like, I know he's at the stage of his career now where he's looking to get a big payday. He's 27, so he's looking to get he's in his prime. But man, he's just not worth it for Man United right now. I agree with you, Mark Harris. He is just trouble, mate. Like, what's the point of getting Rabio in here right now? He's only going to be coming in to do a squad role. I'm just so disappointed with the ambition of this football club once again. We want Juve junk, says Jonathan. Crazy's a panic buy. That's it, Anthony. He's a panic buy. Is he the right sort of player for us? Is he really going to be like fully committed to Manchester United? Probably not, guys. This is it. Like, he's just coming here for a payday, I think, and because he's not wanted by Juve anymore. And Man United see an opportunity to get somebody for cheap and just take the cheap out option, as we always do. It's fucking disgraceful. Rabio's overrated, says Mbuso and Kosi. What ambition, yep. Well said, Stefan. I think he's better than McFred, but I don't like his character. I mean, he's better than McFred. He's better than McFred, it has to be said. But that's not hard, is it? I think you could basically sign anybody. We could go and get, I don't know. There's so many different players in the Premier League who you could probably go and get who aren't even that much money, who are better than looking McFred, whether it be players like, I don't know, James Ward-Prowse or McGinn or Tielemans or something. You might have to spend a little bit more money, but you can get somebody who's actually better, Sorry, I had to knock my thing. There was a wire buzzing on my desk. MacArthur says, love Ronaldo, but brings too many headlines. I want the youth to be making the headlines. Cool comment there, MacArthur. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, hopefully Ten Hag does give a couple of youngsters opportunities. But Ronaldo's still here this season to be the Don, isn't he? Hopefully, anyway, unless he gets sold. The money is there. Our CEO said, what a load of bull. Hashtag Glazers out, says Chrissy J. Thank you, Chrissy. Yeah, man, let's get hashtag Glazers out in there. Absolutely. Rabio's mum to play centre-back as part of the deal, says Berber. Now you're talking. You think 115k a week is substantial enough? I agree, to be fair, G-Wolf United, yeah. God almighty, imagine if we earn 115k a week. Crikey. I mean, he's just coming in to do a bit part role as well. But there's the Rabio information, so it's understood we'll maybe improve a little bit of our initial discussions. We're trying to give him a low amount of money, and his mum obviously wants to get as much money as possible. Apparently he's earning it currently as 7 million euros a week. Maybe they want slightly more, or certainly no less than that at Manchester United. So not looking good, folks, at the moment for getting a good deal for Rabio. We're only paying 15 million. He may be better than what we've got right now, but he's going to want decent wages, and I'm not even sure if it's worth it. I feel like just for a little bit more money, we could put a bit more money towards it, go and get somebody who's a bit more suitable for us. Yep, Stefan says, as a neutral observer, United's a bloody mess. Arsenal have got their shit together to a certain extent. United are a long way off. Yeah, big time. I know it's a worry. They are signing players and having ambition, and United don't have the ambition. We're not signing the players. We're not trying to make strides to be one of the top teams in the league anymore. It's a disgrace. So the wages are the problem here, folks. At the moment, there's a bit of a discrepancy between the amount that they want and the amount that Manchester United want to pay. So there you go. Hopefully it doesn't happen. I'm not even bothered about Adrian Rabiot. In fact, I think it'd be good if the Adrian Rabiot deal just completely fell down and we had to go get somebody else. Maybe we had to spend a little bit more money, put it towards somebody else. I think that would be better for us. But hey, look, Rabiot's an okay option. He's better than some of the shite we got in the midfield right now. If it happens, it's just like meh, and it'll probably be a bit of disappointment. It'll probably be another Morgan Schneiderlin type situation. Fair enough, Keiki says, we're not good enough to get top four. Forget signing top players, but Rabio will stop the rot. Stop further decline. Will he, though? You got a lot of faith in this floppy-haired melt. Are you serious? Fair enough, though. Okay. Right, let's get on to the other midfielder who really could stop the rot and who really could save us if he actually wants to come, which is Frenkie De Jong, folks. We'll just give you a little update on Frenkie. The situation is getting just ridiculous now on Frenkie, but it's got to reach a head soon. It's got to reach a conclusion soon. Like, he's either going to stay at Barca, he's either going to end up leaving and going to Chelsea or somewhere, or he is indeed going to come to Manchester United and reunite with Ten Hag. So we should find out this soon enough, but it's just been going on for so long. This has been a ridiculously drawn-out saga, obviously. And at the moment, so apparently Barcelona believe that they can register everyone now. So just some BS register stuff. I mean, Rashford Rahman, who's a Barca insider, said that, so as it stands, per multiple reports, Barcelona need to activate the fourth palanca, i.e. send all paperworks of the lever to La Liga and adjust contracts of Piqué, almost done, and or Boosie, not close yet, to register. Long day ahead. Oh my goodness. So Barcelona have got to register players today. They've got to do a lot of business today. They've got to get rid of players. They've got to maybe restructure things. They've got to try and convince some of the players they've got at the club now to restructure their contracts to stay and all this pathetic, pitiful stuff. So who knows what's going to go on with De Jong, guys. If De Jong is that adamant that he wants to stay, there's not much Barca can do about it because he's got a contract with them for 4 years. They're threatening legal action, but right now, you've just got to wait to see what the conclusion is between club and player. So Barca and De Jong have to sort things out initially first before Man United and Chelsea can even get a look in, really. Frankie Saga has more twists and turns than watching all the Matrix films, says Simon Warner. Barcelona, give us De Jong, says Batman. Hey, Zayn Miassi, thank you very much indeed for your super chat there, Zayn. What's going on, Zayn Miassi? He comments, Pig, is Rashford worth 70? If Rashford's worth 70, Jesus is worth 150. A swap in Rashford for Neymar plus the fridge thrown in on a bonus. Zayn Miassi, how is Gabriel Jesus worth 150 million? You're talking absolute raw shite here, bud. Go and have a look at Jesus' best seasons in the Premier League. Tell me how many fucking goals he's got. Go and have a look at Trashford's best seasons in the Premier League. Tell me how many fucking goals he's got. No, that's it. Sorry to say, yellow card there, my friend. You're giving it old bitty big bollocks. Jesus has had a good start. And he had a decent pre-season. He's a pre-season hero, lad. This guy's going to be absolutely pathetic for Arsenal, I think, this season. He is a good player, actually. He's a good standard player. Yeah, nice one. I'm not bothered about him, not worried about him at all, mate. He's a 14-goal-a-season merchant, bud. You are living in cloud cuckoo land, Zabiasi, if you think this guy's going to be the difference maker for you. Thierry Henry, he ain't, son. He's fucking bang average, lad. There's a reason Pep Guardiola doesn't want that twat. It's because he's fucking B-team, mate. Get used to it, son. Arsenal are fucking Poundland, man. Anyway, so... Look, fair enough, you're giving it the big one, but Rashford, statistically and value-wise, is worth more than Gabriel Jesus. I don't care what you say, bud. Just because he's Brazilian doesn't mean that he's worth more than Marcus Rashford, bud. You know, that's you're basing it on what? The last fucking few months? Come on now, you've got to look at the bigger picture here. Plus, Rashford's homegrown. He's definitely worth more than Jesus. Let's ask the live chat, folks. Who do you think's worth more money in the market, Rashford or Jesus? I mean, fuck me. Rashford is worth more money, whether you think he's good or not. Anyway, thank you, Samiassi. Rashford says Batman iPhone. Andrew says Rashford. Rashford definitely says Mark. No comment says Rocky. Rashford says Simon. No comment says Chris. Rashford says Nas and Simon. Jesus says you are. Berber says right now, Jesus. Berber, but you're a Man City scummer in disguise, Berber. Simpson says, come on, pig. They're both shite, says Sim. Steve says Rashi. Jesus says David Dieda. On current form, Jesus says Mark. We're not talking about current form. We're talking about based on the value. Zane said that he's worth twice as much as Rashford. That's bullshit. Current form, Rashford's worth about tuppence halfpenny, guys. He's worth fuck all, isn't he? He's worth nothing. But we're not talking about form. We're talking about market value, actually what he'd be worth if you were to try and sell him. He has got big value. Okay, so, right, here we go then. Guys, by the way, we're only 16 likes away from 150 likes. I'm going to remind you again, twat that thumbs up button. We can do better than that, my friends. Bacon Brigade, assemble! Smash that thumbs up on the video if you haven't done so. Leave a like on it. Also, if you're here for the first time, drop that subscribe on it. Get yourself in there raw, my friends. We're going to have a Q&A in a little bit after I've covered the rest of the news here. Arsenal Hollands have Jesus, but we've got God, says Chris Barker. Both shit, says Neil Driscoll. I mean, look, Jesus is a good player. Rashford's a good player. Right now, Rashford's not in good form. Jesus is in more form. It's a thing called recency bias. Recency bias. That's what's going on here. How many goals is Jesus going to score this season in the Premier League? Answer the question. Guys, how many goals is Jesus going to score in the Premier League this season? Zamiassi, thank you for another super chat, Zane. He comments, Rashford has English hype and product of youth. Jesus is way more technical. He's play up front for Brazil. Rashford has no skill, just pace. Rashford's 24, and he's actually managed to have 49 caps for England already, during which a period of time when England were getting to finals of Euros and semi-finals of World Cups over a pretty, let's face it, for our standards, golden period for international football for England. So, you know, okay, I hear what you're saying about Jesus and Brazil. Again, you're holding Brazil in some sort of high esteem. Like, just because he plays for Brazil, he's some sort of, I don't know, Pele-type character or figure or something. That's not how it works, bud. That's not how it works at all. So, you know, I don't know, but I just don't think Jesus is, I think he's overhyped big time, mate. That's my opinion on him as well. 15 says Agrippa and Cake. 18 says Lucky Singh. 10 to 15 says Alexandru. Berber says he will outscore our melts. Berber, I knew you were a City fan in this guy. He plays with Haaland up front. And now he said he's going to... or some sort of Arsenal scummer, I don't know. Are you serious, Berber? Fucking hell, have you forgotten about a little gentleman who goes by the name of Cristiano Ronaldo? Come on, Cristiano's going to outscore that fucking absolute Brazilian wax job. Come on. Come on. What are you on? What are you guys on? Listen, I know there's a lot of disdain for Rashford right now, but fuck me. Come on. Oh, dear, right. Okay, folks, let's carry on with the show. Oh, fucking say Miassi, stick a sock in it, pal. He says, Pig, England are garbage. Maguire plays for England, doesn't make him good. Well, you kind of got me there, bud. England are pretty garbage, and Maguire actually gets in England's starting 11. He's like an actual good player for England. So you got me there, Zane. England are pretty shite with Southgate at the wheel as well. Maguire gets in the team and he scores against San Marino and cups his ear, and he's actually fucking decent for England. So, yeah, fair enough, Zomiassi. In all fairness, English players, I will say this about English players. There is a certain level of hype about English players, overhype. They all go for too much money. Think about Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish is a good player. And he is a good player. But, he's not a fucking absolute world beater. He struggles to get into City's team. They spent 100 million on him. Man United spent 80 million on Harry Maguire. Like, there's definitely a premium you pay for English players because of the homegrown status and everything as well. And let's face it, the England national team, although we did do well in the last couple of major tournaments, we're not a very good team. We're not a very good team at all. And Rashford can't even get in that team at the moment, in all fairness, either. Like, he's not even in the England team. So, yeah, it's a good point you make. I can't really deny it. Right. Okay. So where were we? We had Barcelona struggling to register players. Man United still looking to get De Jong in. It's frustrating. Hopefully we'll find out soon. I mean, surely in the next couple of days or even today, there's got to be some progression. I don't know what that progression will be. Maybe it's Barcelona setting up what they owe Frenkie De Jong. Maybe it's Barcelona taking them to court. Maybe it's De Jong just outright refusing to leave Barcelona. Maybe it's Chelsea going in to match a bid once they've got a yes or some sort of confirmation from Frankie's team that he might say yes. There's definitely things that are going to happen over the next couple of days, I think, in regards to this deal. It's been a long, drawn-out saga, which has gone on a long time now, but it's got to reach a conclusion at some point soon. So, Man United's still in the hunt. I don't know whether or not he's going to end up at wherever it could be anywhere, really. But let's ask the chat then, guys. Where do you see Frenkie De Jong ending up this season or this summer? So, Man United is probably the most unlikely right now. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't seem like any fucker wants to come and join us, in all fairness, guys. And also, Chelsea, if they go in for a late bid, maybe they could convince him to go. They do have Champions League football. They'd be prepared to pay big wages. Barca is still a chance he could stay there. Chelsea says Dean. Berber, yes, they do. Barca do have to register players today. Look at this. So apparently, though, they can exercise some more sort of BS lever, a fourth economic lever, in order to help with this. I don't really understand how that works, but look, they're also asking players, like it says, PK's contract and Boosie, and not yet. They're trying to sort of restructure the things, adjust contracts of certain players. I don't know why they don't just exercise the economic lever of selling Frenkie De Jong to us and pay him what they fucking owe him. And then it'd be quite easy for them to generate the cash and get this player off the books, won't it? We need Marcus Rojo, says Mighty Man. You're on the fence, says Simon Warner. Gentleman's agreement with Ten Hag, says Ryan Taylor. De Jong's waiting for his money, then he starts for United versus Liverpool, says Agrippa Chinhara. Yeah, that's what I think you're probably onto something there, but I think he will get his money. He's waiting for that money. Once he's got that, that's when he's going to start, thinking about where to go. But he wants to get paid first. I think that's fair to say. He actually did them a favour by deferring his wages for all that time, and now they're throwing it back in his face and trying to get him to go for less money. By the way, guys, we've just smashed 150 likes. Baby, we did it. Break out the red panties. It's red panty night. The live chat's got us 150 likes, baby. Everyone, thank you very much indeed for hitting the thumbs up on this video. It's really appreciated. It's all we ask. Drop a cheeky little like on it if you're just getting in. Share it around on social media as well. I've actually pinned the tweet to the top of the live chat, guys. Shout out to every single one of the legends that retweets the show, because it does help us out to spread the word. And I'm just going to go over to Twitter and shout out everyone who's retweeted it. Because it really does help out. And if you're not following us on Twitter, it's pinned to the top. You can search Flying Pig United on Twitter and give us a cheeky little follow. Give it a retweet. I'll give you a follow back. Thank you, R Kings, for giving it a retweet. Thank you, Thugger007. I'll give you a follow back as well, mate. Thank you very much for retweeting that. And Stephen Braun and Matt Gwinnett and Anthony Ong, Aaron Homeyard and Audio Mark. Thank you guys very, very much indeed for sharing that to your Twitter pages, guys, and helping us spread the word of the show. Thank you very much. Okay. Do you think De Jong would join us as Abiarfa, Kalita? I do Abiarfa because, well, of Ten Hag. That's really the only reason. Maybe previously he's indicated he would prefer to join Chelsea. Also, he definitely indicated that he preferred just to stay at Barcelona. That's where his life is. That's where his love is. He loves Barcelona, the family, the city, the weather. These are all things that he likes. His dad's even commented before previously and said that the weather in Manchester is not of Frankie's tastes. Basically, that it's just too bit windy and wet and cold and stuff. And that he's more of a fair weather player, fair weather individual. So, for me, I think he would come because of Ten Hag. And if he's forced out of Barcelona, well, he's got to go somewhere. And there is a great club here. It's just got shit owners at the moment. And also, we are doing really poorly compared to where we should be. We don't have Champions League football. So we're behind where we should be. It's a project. Does he want to get involved with the project? That's the big question. Or does he want to go to a team that's already more likely to compete for trophies and things and give him Champions League football? Really up to him. But I do think that he's likely to want to come to United because of Ten Hag. So the Ten Hag factor is a big one. That is a big one. He's got that relationship with Ten Hag. And honestly think that Ten Hag would have been in contact with Frenkie De Jong up until this point. And that's why we're still in for this deal. That's why many months into the deal, we are still even trying. Because Ten Hag probably had a conversation with Frenkie and said, look, once they've kicked you out the door, we'll have you, my son. Agrippa Chinhara, thank you for supporting this show for 5 months. He's been a member for 5 months of the channel. Guys, let's get a hashtag 5 months in there. Thank you very much, Agrippa Chinhara, for supporting the show all this time, my friend. He says, Ten Hag knows for a fact De Jong wants United. Just what I was talking about, my son. Agrippa Chinhara, you legend. I think it's got to be the case also, Agrippa. Let's get a 5 months in the live chat there for Agrippa. I think you've got to be right, because why would we still be here? We would have gone to somebody else. Ten Hag's been on the blower. He's been in contact with Frankie, and they've had conversations in that beautiful Dutch language. And he's asked him if he wants to come. And so, yeah, I think that's a big indicator, mate. I mean, not to say that Chelsea couldn't convince him to go there instead of Man United, because as I've said, I do think that Chelsea provide some things that Man United cannot right now. I guess some people say that the City of London is a draw for certain players. Maybe him and his missus would prefer that. Don't know. Also, the money involved. Are Chelsea prepared to pay a little bit more than what Man United are prepared to pay? That's also a factor. We know De Jong doesn't really want to go down on what he's being paid. And some reports say that with bonuses and add-ons and things like that, he's getting near €500,000 a week over there. So would we be prepared to pay that? Certainly Chelsea, maybe they would pay a little bit more. If they've got Champions League football, Tuchel as their manager who's won the Champions League with that team, and they're prepared to pay big money, maybe a little bit more than what Man United are prepared to pay. All those factors, he probably would go to Chelsea. So it's not guaranteed that he would come to Manchester United just because Ten Hag's here. We're also going to have to make it attractive in terms of the contract, which means we'll probably get bent over in that department and pay him an absolute fortune. But also, it's a project here. He knows that we don't have Champions League football. It's going to take a bit of time for Man United to get back on track. Next season, we could be there, but we've not had a good start to the season. He knows that, and he knows that the club's in a bit of a gas situation, and it's not an ideal place to come, is it? I mean, let's just be honest. From Barcelona right now, even though they had a shit season last season, with what they're doing, the investments they've got, the players they've signed, the history of the club, what they're expected to do, what their aspirations are, it's a step down at the moment to go play for Man United in the Europa League. Not as a club, historically, Man United is one of the biggest clubs in the world. But right now, it's Europa League, so it's a step down at United. You have to say that. Dante Mack, thank you very much for the $5 Aussie super chat, my friend. He says, Ten Hag sacked within the first month. Wow. Dante Mack, I'm going to go ahead and say no, bro. I don't think he will be sacked within the first month, man. No, I think he won't be sacked at all this season. The soonest I could see Erik Ten Hag sacked would probably be the end of the season. You never know what goes on, though. Listen, if this guy keeps playing Scotty McTominay and Fred and Maguire and we're losing every single game week to week, and there's no progression, his new signings are not playing well, all that sort of stuff, it's going to mount up. The pressure's going to mount up. But one thing you've got to remember, Dante, this guy needs time. He's trying to rebuild from a gashed Manchester United side into potential winners of the league, and it's going to take a number of years. I always just go back to looking at Jurgen Klopp when he's first come to Liverpool. It takes time to add the missing pieces of the puzzle over the course of many seasons and transfer windows to build a squad that you know is capable of doing the business. He didn't come in and do it overnight, and neither will Ten Hag. He may well finish 7th this season. It may well be the case. It's one of those. It's going to be a horrible season, guys. I don't think we're going to be up there necessarily, covered in glory, winning titles, winning trophies. It's not going to be the case. This is a rebuild job. It might even be a case of we haven't signed the right amount of players. We haven't signed enough key quality players. So we end up developing the youth a lot this season. There's a few youth players that come through, which means that next season, maybe we're in a better position. But right now, this season, we just got to eat a bit of a shit sandwich, unfortunately. Jonathan Gallagher, thank you for the super chat, Johnny G. Johnny Gow's getting in there raw. Can we get a raw emoji in there for Johnny Gow's? He comments and he says, every window's the same old bullshit. Dragging one signings. Yeah, that's right, Jonathan Gallagher. It is pretty much the case, isn't it? Things like, Sancho obviously being an absolute shithouse transfer. Bruno Fernandes dragged on for months and months. Even Harry Maguire went on for a long time. There's always a lot of transfer dealings with Man United that take a long old time. Maguire needs to work on his running so he's fast, as Susan Lowe. He does need to work on his running. He needs to work on his running like Forrest Gump. Out the fucking stadium, son. Run out the stadium and go. Run, Slabby, run. Hey, Ellie, how are you doing today? Welcome in. How are you finding the weather today? How are you doing, Ellie? Thank you for getting in, and everybody else who's in here. But, Ellie, what's good? How are you finding the sunshine? Who's sweating their munt off? Let us know, guys. Smash a 69 if you're sweating your absolute thing off right now. I am absolutely fucking sweating, man. Who's outside and who's inside? It's too hot, says Ellie. Yeah, it really is. Young players need to play, says Lucky Singh. The players we have, no one would take, says Mark Clement. Well, it depends, doesn't it? Right, guys, so just in regards to Gakpo, Fab tweeted it 24 hours ago. It's gone a bit cold on Gakpo at the moment, maybe because of this Rashford news about him staying. And obviously Gakpo's a left wing. But Man United are discussing Cody Gakpo internally. He'd love a Premier League move while talks are still ongoing with Adrian Rabiot's camp. €17 million fee already agreed with Juventus. Gakpo's one of the names in the list alongside priority target Antony. No official bid yet. So some people are saying sell Rashford, buy Gakpo and Antony. What do you think to that, guys? Smash a 1 in the live chat if you think that's a good idea. By the way, another piece of information come out from Fabrizio Romano here. Barcelona have sold 24.5% of Barca Studios to Orpheus Media for €100 million as they're now set to activate the fourth lever. This was a few hours ago anyway, I forgot to mention this, but we're talking about obviously them exercising the lever, but they've actually sold 24.5% of Barca Studios to Orpheus Media for €100 million. They're now set to activate the fourth lever. These guys are absolute fucking disgrace, aren't they? Let me get that up on screen for you folks so you can see what's going on there. But there you go. Barcelona sold 24.5% of Barca Studios. So they've getting 100 million. They're exercising all these different economic levers. My understanding is, though, that they've got a cap in terms of their what they're allowed to pay to their players in terms of a salary percentage, etc. And they've got to adhere to that with La Liga. So I don't really see how generating 100 million is going to really help them. I suppose if it's worked out on percentage, commercial-wise, etc. I don't really know the clauses and the way it works, but at the moment they are trying to do all that they can to register all the players that they've signed. So that's quite interesting, that piece of information that came out, and God knows what they're up to, guys. They're just whoring themselves out, remortgaging themselves. Also, Man United have offered Barcelona, this is a report that's come out from Sport in Spain anyway, that suggests Man United have offered Barcelona Diogo Dalot in exchange for Sergiño Dest. So, I mean, I think this is probably just absolute BS in all fairness, but that's a report from Sport. Just thought I'd mention it. Zayn Miasi, thank you very much for the super chat there, Zane. Thank you very much, boss. Appreciate you. Let's see what he says. He says, pressure will mount then, Pig. We'll have this biggest meltdown ever. Pressure's definitely going to mount unless, unless we see unless Ten Hag can actually prove himself and actually get this team playing well. Pressure's going to continuously mount throughout the season. I mean, I think we'll struggle to finish in the top 5 now. I honestly do. I hope we'll finish 5th, but let's ask the live chat. Where does Manchester United finish this season? Let us know. What's your thoughts and opinions? We've got to be realistic. I mean, even if it's 7th, think about Klopp's first season. It's like we've got to rebuild. It's not as simple as just, oh, yeah, we're going to challenge for the title overnight. We haven't even spent the money. 3 says Agrippa. 8 says Ryan Taylor. 8 says Roy the Boy. Luan says, I've been in line for almost an hour and finally only third before I get in. I'm so antsy, guys. Government goes slow. Thanks for keeping me company. Oh, nice one, Luan France. That's absolutely abysmal, isn't it? I hate being in lines. 8 says Ahmad Fawaz. 8 says William Blake. Relegated says Ardy. As it stands, 8 says Compost Smurf. 5th says Elliot Manduna. Dante Mac, thank you so much for your 5 Aussie dollars, the super chat there, my son. Dante, let's get another Sui in there. He comments, he says, can we get a top 3 prediction this early? Can Man United get top 5? I think Man United finish 5th. That's my prediction. My prediction's 5th. And just to answer your question, Dante, top 4 above us, I'm going to go for Chelsea in 4th place. I'm going to go for Tottenham in 3rd. That's right. That's right. Tottenham in 3rd. I'm also going to go for, Liverpool 2nd and City 1st. That's my top 4, I think, bud. I mean, Arsenal, I guess they could be in contention. They spent a lot. They spent the most again, I think, already this summer transfer window. But I'm just not convinced with the signings that they've made necessarily. And I'm also just thinking that they're classic Arsenal shithouse bottle jobs. So I still think we'll probably finish higher than them. They did just finish above us last season, but it was like their best season for a while and one of our worst. I think if Ten Hag can get this team playing any sort of decent football, we can still finish above the Arsenal. And so I'm gonna go 5th, but who knows? I mean, crikey, it could be anywhere 7th or 8th. Marky Harris is top 14 at this rate. 5th is extremely optimistic. To be fair, it is a bit optimistic, Jabba. It actually is. Rushmano, how you doing there, my son? He says, subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much, Rushmano, you absolute legend. Yes, please do hit the like on the video if you guys are just getting in. And hit the subscribe if you guys are new to the show as well. We're on here every day with the latest United news and transfer news and stuff. We'll be back on later as well, with an evening update and all the latest breaking news as and when it happens. So get yourself subscribed, click the little bell icon as well so you get notifications, etc. Right, let's cover the rest of these little bits of info that's come out through the show. So Samuel Luckhurst reporting that Ten Hag has identified Hakim Ziyech as an alternative left-footed attacker to Antony. Man United have largely backed Ten Hag's preference for targets familiar to him, but Ziyech has been deemed as an exception. Interesting. So yeah, I mean, I'm not that bothered on Ziyech. He came to the Prem with a little bit of expectation, Chelsea scummer vibes, and it's just not really worked out. But then he didn't used to have Ajax vibes, etc. So, I don't know. I guess we could do worse. Today, Man United will improve their proposal to Adrian Rabio. This is news that's come out from Giovanni Albanese as well. Giovanni Albanese that just says that redistribution of bonuses and agreement on agent commissions must also be found, but the mood at United is positive. So just a little bit more there on Rabio, as we discussed earlier. Progressing, but they still got to come to an agreement. They're asking for a bit too much money right now. Also, Lazio's president, Claudio Latito, has been speaking, and he's been quoted as saying, Sergej Milinkovic-Savic for 50 million euros. At that amount, he won't be sold. He's worth much more. Our market is complete and finished. Also because Luis Alberto will remain. So, 50 million is too little for him. I think it'll probably take 70 million euros to get Milinkovic-Savic. And we're only going to go on to him if we end up not being able to get Frenkie De Jong, which is still being worked on. We've got to obviously reach a conclusion soon between Barca and De Jong. We've seen that they're exercising all sorts of bullshit economic levers in order to try and register players. Maybe Frankie's just got his head down and said, no, screw you guys, I'm not going anywhere. It's as simple as that. And they've got to work around him now because he's contracted to the club. Or they're just going to still continue to make the situation as horrible and disgusting for Frankie as possible, and he just has to leave. That's the most likely. Let's ask the chat, does Frenkie De Jong stay or go? I'm not asking you where he goes. I'm asking you, does he stay or go? The way Barcelona have treated him, why would he want to stay there, folks? It's just disgusting. So I think he wants to go. But let's ask the live chat, does he stay at Barca beyond the transfer window, or does he go? Let me know what you guys are thinking. Oh, yes, dudes, we got 300 legends tuning in. We are nearly at 200 likes as well. Only 13 away. Let's smash that 200. If you're just joining, do drop a little cheeky little like on the vid. Stay says Mbuso. Go says Duncan. Frankie De Jong says Stuart. Stay says Dante and Akwonga. Sorry to say it says Lucky Singh. Stay says Superstar. He'll go, but to where says Simon Warner. Stay says Jason Ewing. Thank you, Vutinator. He's going to move, says Lucky Singh. He shouldn't stay, but he will, says Jabba. Well, he could ride it out, couldn't he? It's a bad scenario. Xavi said that, he's going to play him at centre-back and all this sort of stuff. They're trying to threaten legal action as well to suggest that his previous contract wasn't lawful. And so his situation there is very uncomfortable. Now, will that be the same after the transfer window slams shut and Barcelona have to come to the realisation and the acceptance that Frankie's not going anywhere? and then maybe they'll start treating him nicely again then. But certainly he's on big whack, huge money over there, and they want to get him off the books in order to free up these monies to be able to register these other players for the salary cap. So the way I see it, they've still going to want to get rid of Frenkie De Jong, but if Frenkie De Jong's resolve is that strong that he's going to stay after all this, then good luck to him. We don't want him at Man United anyway then, because it's just he clearly his loyalties are with Barcelona, and that's fine. But for Man United, we want somebody who does want to play for us. I mean, I know he might want to stay at Barca more, but crikey, they're treating him like pure shite, and if he stays there, he's an absolute mug. So I do think that he'll go. I just hope that it's to Manchester United. Grizzly Bear says, Rashford, 2 goals, 1 assist last season, 200k a week, absolute madness. Yeah, and reports are in regards to Rashi, that Man United could be looking to give him a new contract very soon as well, simply because, well, he's only got a year left and then there's an option for another year. So call it 2 years, but that's not a huge length contract for Man United and Rashford to have. So United want to maybe protect the asset. They're not too keen on allowing Rashford to go, so they may well actually offer him a new contract soon. In my opinion, they shouldn't offer him a new contract until at least January. Let him prove himself this season under Ten Hag. If he's not proven himself, or if he's proven himself to be just as consistent and as gash as he always has been, or over the last 18 months anyway, then sell him in January, or give him a new contract in January if he's earned it. But he's at least got to earn it first. Zane says, Super Chat Piggy. Oh, my bad, Zane. I missed it, didn't I? Oh, Zane Miassi, I'm so sorry, pal. I've an $8.99 Super Chat going in there raw. Guys, everyone get a raw emoji in there for Zane Miassi. Thank you, Zane. He comments, United finish above us. We finish way higher than you and have a stronger team. Where is the logic in that, Piggy? Way higher. You finished in 5th and we finished 6th, Zane. And you have a stronger team. I don't even know if you really do have a stronger team, to be honest with you, bud. You've got ideas above your station, Zane Miassi, pal. Where is the logic in that? And Ronaldo is leaving. You're too biased, Piggy, says Amy Assey. I'm not biased. I honestly think Tottenham will finish above us. I think Chelsea will finish above us. I just think Arsenal is shit, Zane, and you're fucking overhyped, bud. That's my opinion. I'm entitled to it, pal. I'm not biased. I just think Arsenal are even crapper. That's my honest opinion. But there you go. I mean, and they've got Mikel Arteta, an absolute fucking Poundland pet PE teacher of a manager, sir. So I'm not worried about him, Zane, bud. But hey, look, fair enough, if that's what you think. I'm not biased, though. I honestly just think that Man United could easily finish above Arsenal this season. Yeah, I do. Happy to have a little bet, though, bud. Happy to have a little bet with you, Zane Miassi. Oh, no, wait, you don't settle your bets, do you? I'm just kidding. He has probably settled his bet over about 68,000 transactions, but fair play to him. Right now, United's a mid-table level team. Sad but true, says Abiyafa Kalita. Well, okay, maybe. Maybe at the moment. Pig not biased, really, says Stefan. I'm not biased. I just think Arsenal are guff, that's all. Arteta's an okay manager, says Lucky saying, yeah, okay's okay, I guess. Arsenal will start well, then drop off around Christmas as usual. Good call, Jabba, yeah. I mean, how long until the cause of Arteta out? How long until that? It's not going to be that long. Will Eric Ten Hag ever drop McFred? He's got to, hasn't he, Fadini? Yeah. Why would you not be biased to your own teams as all of a sudden? Okay, yeah, fair enough. But, I try and look at it from an objective point of view. Like, this team's doing well. This team's bought those players. This team's got that manager. This team's going to, progress at this start of this season, and etc. That's why I think Spurs are going to have a better season this year. But just Arsenal, I expect them to be classic North London bottlers, guys. Anyway, so let's just finish the news. So, also news on... so what do you think about this, guys? Fucking hell. Fucking... Oh, that is disgusting. What is this kit, guys? This is a new third kit, right, which Man United will be playing against Brentford, right? Wearing against Brentford. Do you like it, guys? Some people really like this. Me, personally, I think it looks absolutely fucking hideous, guys. Oh, my goodness me. It looks like my old granny's bathroom suite from the 1980s, like some fucking pea green, olive green type guff up horrible kit there, man. It looks like he's wearing David De Gea's fucking goalkeeper jersey, my son. That doesn't look like a Man United kit. It looks like he's rocking David De Gea. Why is he wearing De Gea's goalkeeping jersey, for fuck's sake? It makes no sense. Anyway, I'm just saying, this is a crap kit, guys. Mate, this is a crap kit. The third kit last season was absolutely beautiful. This is the away kit. This was nice as well last season. This one, this season's kits are crap, mate. I like the away one, but the third one looks absolutely gash. Horrible. Looks gashed, says William. Horrible Glazer shirts. Yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, if they, it wouldn't surprise me if they had the audacity to go for the fucking green and gold quarters, those toss pots. But they've gone for this puke pea green colour here. And to me, it's absolutely sickening. One thing's for sure is they don't have to worry at all about you know, us fans don't have to worry about people buying this shirt and funding the Glazers, I don't think, because nobody's going to buy this fucking monstrosity, are they? Look at the state of it, man. It's horrible, guys. It's absolutely horrible. Who signed off on this? So I think they got some sort of really one of those arty-farty designers to come up with this one. He's just basically just puked in a sick bag and used that as his inspiration, because this is fucking absolutely ridiculous, mate. Anyway, beautiful, says Anthony Young. Why is it limey green? I don't know, John. Yeah, Berber says avocado. It is like that, isn't it? It's fucking horrible. I don't like it anyway, but guys, rate it out of 10. Let us know what you honestly, genuinely think. Some people really like it, actually. I think it's disgusting. Let us know, guys. Give it a rating out of 10. I'm going to give it a 1 out of 10. I couldn't be less interested in that kit if you tried. It's absolutely disgusting. 0 says MFO, Jonathan says 0, Naz says 0, 2 says Footy, 100 says Earthane, Master Yoda loves it, gives it a 9, makes you want to eat Ronaldo, says Anthony on. Crikey, mate. Grizzly Bear says 1, Lucky Singh says 3, I don't like it, Rashford, no. 0 out of 10 says Susan, 2 says Yuwa, 0 says Jim Watkins, absolutely disgusting, 0 says Batman Night Fan, 3 says Lucky, 1 says Cash Vandermeer, 10 says Anti-Young, 10 says Mbuso and Kosi, 4 says Rajat, 100 says Earthane. It's growing on me, to be honest. 7 says Cake says 3. 3 says Tonk Nash. 0 says Paul. 1 says Superstar. Okay, so most people don't like it. Fair enough. A few people really like it, though. Fair enough. Yeah, no, I don't like it. It looks like a goalkeeper jersey, man. Exactly, sub 2. Heroes in a half shell. Total power. Cowabunga, dudes. It does look like that, mate. Free for efforts. Oh, Zane says super chat. I keep missing them, Zane. Thank you so much, bud. Oh, Zane Miasi's got in here again. Guys, can we just take a second to get love hearts in there for Zane? And can we get a hashtag 200 in the chat? Because we've got 200 likes on the show. Thank you, everyone, for dropping the like on it. Zane Miasi, I'm sorry I missed it, pal. He comments and he says, Piggy, you are getting very defensive. Like the Tinder dates who are too needy. And when you tell them they are, they get defensive. Zane Miasi, nice one, bud. Fair play to you. I bet Zane does some absolute fucking bits on Tinder, don't you reckon? Probably just sends people like 50 quid. He just goes, here's what's your PayPal? Here's 50 quid. Nice pick. You know what I mean? Oh, Zane Miasi, thank you so much, bud. You fucking legend. Let's go. Okay, maybe I'm getting a bit defensive, but it's only because people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, Miasi. And I can accept criticism. If some city scummer came in here, even though they're complete new money, scum, oil money, gash, fucking horrible club, at least they're saying it from a point of, you know, actual success right now. But any Arsenal Hollands fan who wants to come in here and give it the big one about Man United being poor, they can go and fucking eat a fucking bag of dirty oranges, mate, in all fairness, because they're off their tits. There's no logic behind it. Not won the league since 2004, never won the Champions League, small club living in the shadow of Manchester United, and always will be. Go fuck yourself, Arsenal Hollands fans, mate. Honestly, you've got no position to say to anybody. You even don't even have Champions League football, Zane. You're still playing in the Europa League, just like us, who had a proper shite season. Anyway, right, okay. Okay, so that's that, guys. The kit's absolutely fucking horrible. Also, a bit of news about Medjbury, guys. Keep, loan, or sell Medjbury, folks. So I say keep him because we've got so much gash at the club. But apparently he is close to going out on loan. Rich Fay reporting that Medjbury's to go out on loan. So looks like maybe some of the youngsters we thought might get some sort of opportunities this season maybe will be given out on loan. I hope that players like Garnacho stay, Iqbal stay, etc. Yeah, Fabio got this as that's facts. Peppermint Patty says, William, go green blend in with the pitch. They won't see us coming. Yeah, and Booster, that's a good point, actually, man. So, you know, that's a good point. It could blend in with the pitch. That's a really good point, actually. It's not going to be good, is it? Piggy's odious obsession with Arsenal, says Stefan. Better than be wasted on the bench under 23, says Palmarius. You're going to maybe get that kit, are you, Rajat? Oh, I don't get the legit version. Kit so green, Bruno got an excuse when he misplaced the pass, says Berber. Exactly. They're not going to be able to see each other, are they? Yeah, camouflage, says Rajat. Only if we really are signing another midfielder, says Superstar, yeah. Really hope Ten Hag decides to play Martinez at CDM moving forward, says Malps. Yeah, maybe so, if we can. But then again, that means Slabby Maguire's going to play centre-back, doesn't it? Kit looks like a smoothie. It does look pretty poor. Okay, still better than the home shirt, says Touch Christ. Dumb typical Glazers didn't think it would blend in, says Rajat. Yeah, it's going to blend, isn't it? Not buying any kits until hashtag Glazers out. Great shout, Anthony. Fergie blamed a kit years ago. Yeah, that was that grey one, wasn't it? They even changed it at half-time. Is it glow in the dark, says you are? Magnet and Steel, if you know, you know, says James T. I know, Magnet and Steel, I know. That's from Max and Paddy, right? Yeah. Okay, guys, we're going to wrap this video up. We've been on here for an hour and 15 minutes. There's the latest news. So just a quick rundown. You know, Ten Hag says that Rashford will stay. He's not joining PSG at all. Rashford new contract is a possibility, even though it's not deserved. But at some point, they're going to have these discussions. Rashford is not for sale. That's expressed again here by Manchester United. Ten Hag says that Ronaldo had a good training week, played a little bit longer than half an hour. He's had 2 half games. So he could be in the starting 11. We'll see tomorrow. Rabio as well. Talks continuing with Veronique Rabio in regards to the player and his contract. Rabio update here as well. Proposal for Rabio in terms of redistributing the bonuses. United must also find an agreement on commissions with Veronique. United's mood is positive. Rabio wages are what's separating the agreement at the moment. Basically, they're asking for a bit much. United don't want to pay that much. Barcelona selling bits and bobs of their club again, trying to generate money and exercise economic levers in order to maybe register players. As it stands, per multiple reports, Barcelona need to activate the lever and they'll send all the paperwork. And apparently they've sold since then 24.5% of Barca Studios to Orpheus Media, blah, 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 blah. Still don't know what's going on with De Jong. It's an absolute shit show. And then also Gakpo, still a possibility. We've discussed it internally. Nothing yet. There's the disgusting kit. Mejbri on loan possibly as well. That's basically the news, guys. So there's the afternoon lunchtime news for you there, folks. Hey, Matty Gwynner, thank you so much for the super chat, bud. Oh, thank you, Simon Warner. You too, bud. Yeah, get a chance to cool down. Thank you, my son. Matty Gwynner with a £5 super chat, lad. He's got his team in there. He says De Gea, Malacia, Varane, Martinez, Dumfries. Oh, hell yeah. De Jong, Savic, Ericsson. Well, I don't know about De Jong and Savic. It's too much money, isn't it? But it would be nice. De Jong, Savic, Ericsson, Gakpo, Ronaldo, and Anthony. That could and should be our first team. Well, if we spent like 300 million, I guess, Matt. But we'd have to spend a shitload. In fact, we wouldn't even have to spend that much. You're right. 200 million investment and sell a bunch of gash players, and you've probably got all those players you said. I like it, to be fair, Matt Gwynner. I like it a lot. It looks fucking good, mate. I know. If we actually had ambition, that's what we would do, bud. Barca be screwed in 10 years, says Jabba. That's it. Whoring themselves out, remortgaging themselves. Down the line, they'll feel it. Thank you very much, James T. Says, great stream. As always, don't drop the soap, though, says James T. You fucking what? Oh, yeah, from Max and Paddy, right? Yeah. Yeah. I know what you mean. When they went to prison, yeah, nice one. Bidding, please, for Gakpo, says Lucky Singh. Cheers, Piggy. Interesting show as ever. Thank you, you are. Look at that highlighted kit. It does look like that, Raja Malaysia. Yes. If you hold off signing Gakpo until PSV play the last Champions qualifier, I'd really appreciate it. Yeah, John, I think that's what they want to do anyway. Real Rabio turns out he's 27, so F him, says Dutch Christ. 27's not old. That's in his peak. Great video, like always. Thank you, Mbuso. Thank you, John Adair, for getting in. And Mark Nurse, Butters, Marky Nurse, the Bristolian Mackham, welcome in, bud. We're just wrapping up, but great to see you. Dizzy Red Devil says, great stream, Pig. Awesome way to start my Friday. Cheers. Thank you so much, Dizzy lad. Pig wants to buy the green jersey, says Jonathan. The alternative kit is a gash chameleon. It's awful, isn't it? Thank you, Big Red One, as well, for subscribing, mate. Everyone, thank you so much to each and every one of you legends for tuning into this show today. You can do us a big favor by smashing the like on this video. Hit the thumbs up on it before you go. Make sure you drop a like. That's all we ask around here is you twat that like button. It's free. So drop a little thumbs up on it. Also, give it a share around on social media. Shout out to all the people who retweeted my tweet earlier on as well. Twitter is pinned to the top of the live chat. Go and give us a follow up there. Also, check out the website, which is unitedflyinghigh.com or flyingpigunited.com. And also, we can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and all the rest of those places by checking out Flying Pig United. Thank you guys for watching. Stefan as well. You're going to get the Celtic shirt. And Buso, Ulf793 says, like the third kit. Ulf793, hope you're good, bud. John O'Connor, Big Red, Fabio, Pat, John, Grizzly, Stefan, and Buso, Jim Watkins, Ulf793, Mark Harris, James T, Lucky, William Blake, Rush Marno, Grizzly Bear, John, Jarvis Cocker, Lee McCann, and everyone, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you on the next one, guys. And remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, As this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much. See.